Captain's Quarters podcast. In the new office of Captain William Mayhem, we cheer to you. Cheers to you, Navigator Longwood. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Captain.
Sailor Jerry's. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our first episode in the new digs of Captain Mayhem and his lovely better half, Miss CC. Right now, tonight, we're in my new office. Hopefully, by next week, our new studio, our podcast studio, will be up and running, and we'll be set to really enjoy some fun. Having guests in the show and the whole 9 yards, in person even. So we'll see what happens. Tonight's episode is just kind of a catch-up, and the crew, the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, was really extremely busy this past weekend, and we want to share with you what we've been doing. So tonight's episode is dedicated to charity. There are many pirate crews in the area. They all are doing charity work in one way, shape, or form. But instead of worrying about mentioning any of them, we will just say that all of them do good work. I'm seeing Zachary Harper has showed up. We have a Facebook user, Little Traveler. Hey, Little Traveler. That would be our good friend that comes up to visit with me in the Pirate Museum once in a while. Adam Lemons. Hello, Adam. Good to see you. I'm glad you're online with us. Another Facebook user saying cheers. And there it is, Scarlet Deerheart. Ahoy there. Good to see you. Hopefully some more will pop in. So there's Christy Thomas. Very good. That would be Adam's better half. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the show itself. We want to make sure that you go to our YouTube channel and like and subscribe. It is very important that you like and subscribe because the more people we get, the more people will pay attention and the more power we have to get the word out and make this a hugely successful podcast. We're looking forward to the numbers at the end of each show, and we'll tell you where we're at. We've even got some new things to talk about. We're just going to throw a bunch of things out there to you. But do make sure that you like and subscribe. Hit that little bell. That'll give you an opportunity to get an alarm to let you know when we're going live. And the more the merrier. So come on in. We're at our halfway point, actually over our halfway point. This is episode 35, if I remember right. And our 1 year anniversary is September 19th, in which we will be not only celebrating our podcast 1 year, we'll also be celebrating Talk Like a Pirate Day, and our guest will be Miss Scarlet Deerheart because her birthday happens to fall on Talk Like a Pirate Day. So we will be doing something fun. I see Donna has showed up. I see Miss Kara is there. And look at that, the Earl. Good day to you too, Captain. We're glad that you joined us. Thank you very much. So how about Mr. David? Let's do question or quote. Which do you want?
Quote.
Quote it is. Go with the quote of the week. Captain's Quarters podcast. I need to put my specs in. Quote of the week. The most valuable of all talents is that of never using two words when one will do. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Hey, don't be too wordy. Well, I'm pretty guilty of that as the captain. I'm pretty wordy. All right. So that is a good quote, Mr. David. And as always, Mr. Longwood, you do a fine job. I think I'll keep my specs in so I can see what I'm doing. How about the question of the week? And since this is an episode on charity, what is your requirement? What is it that you look at in order for you to give or participate in a charity event or make any kind of a donation to a charity? In other words, do you have something that is important to you that you get involved in? I see Mr. Neufeld is there. He would never have made it as a lawyer then. And so let me start off the question by giving you my thought. I'll share my thought with you. And it's one of the reasons, and there's two thoughts that I'm going to share with you. And it's one of the reasons why charity is very important to me. Many of you, most of you know that I am a professional magician. I have been a professional magician on and off since I was 16 years old. I am now 64. That's a long time. One of my heroes, one of the people I followed all along as a magician, even in my younger days, and even still to this day, are the ideas, the performance, the concepts of Harry Houdini. 1874 he was born, 1926 he died. He had this one thought, and that is why the last week of October is actually celebrated as National Magic Week. And his credo was that all magicians, no matter what level, amateur to professional, should give of their free will and do a free show or two in that last week during National Magic Week. Give of your talents to your community. That was his thought. I have done that ever since I was 16 years old. Now, I not always do it in the last week of October, but I do charity during the whole year. And many of you know I do. So following Harry Houdini from the 1920s, I still will do charity because I believe giving of my talent is a good way for me to show my talent and share my talent. That being said, primarily you'll notice that the St. Augustine Swashbucklers work with Inc., which is teachers and students, Dreams Come True, which are children that are suffering from medical terrible problems, and St. Augustine Youth Services. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we also have done things for not Dreams Come True, we do that. Dreams Come True, Give Kids the World down in Orlando, and I don't expect Mr. Navigator is going to be able to pop these up on there because he has no idea what I'm going to be saying tonight. It's all going to be a lot of fun. But we've done things for Give Kids the World. I've done things for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And if you notice, there is a common thread amongst all of them. Children. Ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe, and yes, there is a Christian background in this idea that I have, and you do not have to share it, and I do not have a problem if you do not share it. But ladies and gentlemen, I believe that as adults, our responsibility is to make sure that all kids are taken care of properly, safely, and from all harm's way. That being said, if a family is in need and has children, I am more than willing to help them. If a family has no children and this will probably make people think bad of me, homeless people. So many times people that are homeless on purpose. They want to be. They don't want any ties. They're adults. I believe that adults should and can take care of themselves. Yes, sometimes they do need some help. They do need a push. And I'm still not opposed to doing that. I will. We've helped homeless people before. We've given to food banks. We've given blankets and coffee out. We've done those things also. But our primary objective, primary means the main focus of our direction is always about children. We as adults are put here to take care of the children around us. For those children are our future. And we need to make sure they're taken care of. Now, there's a lot of things going on right now, ladies and gentlemen, with all the gun arguments and the weapons arguments, and I'm not getting into that this time. We might pick another episode to talk about that, but we're doing charity work. This past weekend, we did a whole lot of charity work, and we're going to share it with you in just a few moments. But let's talk about Crew Adventures. Our Crew Adventures are next on it, and that's showing our poster. Now, we have a crew social and recruitment for the St. Augustine Swashbucklers in July of 2022. And if you're listening or you know somebody that would like to join our crew and be a part of our crew, you would be welcome to attend this social and find out if you really want to be a part of it. And the crew will vote on you. In the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, you must have a 75% approval rating from the rest of the crew already in place. That's a good thing. And we have decided, the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, our membership is sitting at about 40. We had set it at the cap at 50, but our last meeting we recapped it at the 70-75 mark, and that's as far as it's going to go. So we have about 25 spots open, and I already know that we have about 9 people coming to the social. So that limits it right there. If you'd like to join us, send us a message in any way, shape, or form. Message one of the crew. Message the St. Augustine Swashbucklers public page and be a part of what we're doing. The June 11th case event, we're going to talk about that. I didn't take it off of tonight. The June 18th, Midsummer Night's Dream Gala has been obviously postponed because that would be coming up in about 5 days. St. Augustine Rum Fest 2022. Right now, there is a big possibility that it will be put on hold. That is primarily at the fault of the captain. For you see, May and June, I've had to uproot my entire home and move everything, and my focus has been on trying to fix it all up and make sure that we are reestablished in a new home. And we are, but it still takes some work. Of course, always, we'll be doing something in December for our toy drive. We'll be doing something in October. And it's a big secret as it stands right now, but loose lips sink ships, so I won't be telling you, but be looking. We may be doing something even better than the haunted yard that we used to do at the old location. Of course, every Monday night is our Captain's Quarters podcast, 8 p.m. every Monday night. We were afraid we were going to be late tonight, but guess what? We did it. We were on time, but the reason we would have been late was that I and several of the crew members, we were working on a Dreams Come True mini event at the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum with a very special little girl named Jasmine. And we'll talk more about that in a few moments. I think we've got all that. How about update after event, which would also be our special guest, which is talking about charity. So for the next 20 minutes or so, let's talk. Inc. Investing in Kids. It's a great organization, locally established here in St. Augustine, Florida, and we helped them out with a big event this weekend. It was their first annual. It was a lot of fun. And Davey, do we have a video of that?
Yes, I do.
Well, let's play the video first, and then let's talk.
Okay.
As an event for all the St. John's County School District employees and their families. And the swashbucklers are here. All right, take a look at how all our crew doing what they need to do. Juggling techniques there with Miss Vicky. And there's Pinker. He was trying to do that thing all evening. I didn't have a difficulty. Very good. Pirates here at the St. Augustine Swashbucklers helping us with all the games. She actually is probably the boss. For Izzy, but she was a lot of fun and she has out. All right. Keep up with us now. Good times today. Very good, Mr. Longwood. I have a really silly question, and I'm going to ask it right here on the screen. When you show the videos like that and we're still on the picture, can they hear us talking?
Yes, they can.
Okay, from now on, we can start narrating some of these, and I can make some silly comments then. Very
Yes,
good.
that one of at the games, Belinda was having a fit because I videotaped her backside, so that's why I had to pan back and.
No worries. She was busy working. That's important. She was busy doing what she's supposed to do. I saw a question or a comment in our comments from Will the Historian, and I wanted to address that real quick before we go on to talking about what Inc. was doing and how much fun we had out there. Nonprofits and CEOs of the charity can't be making more than they use to help those in need. I can tell you this, the St. Augustine Swashbucklers uses 90 to 95% of all the money they make towards their charities. It is in our paperwork, it is in our bylaws, and it is in our bank account. So if anybody has any questions about that, by all means, we're open and honest with it. We want everybody to know that. I also saw something else here I wanted to address real quick too. Zachary Harper rides with a motorcycle group, and they raised over $2,000 at a bike show to get food for local food bank. We believe in going and getting the food ourselves, so we know where the money is going. Yes, Zachary, that's one of the things we do too. We try to make sure that we're buying the food or buying the toys, or inspecting and making sure everything we have is legit and real before we give it out. And when it comes to giving money to somebody that's in need, here's some of the ways we do that. We actually ask them if say they need money to buy medicine, we go and buy their medicine for them. We have a receipt for it so we can have proof. They need their electricity bill paid, we pay that, but we have a receipt for it. We do not just give money to people anymore. We make sure that we cover it and it's taken care of properly, because that is the best way to do it. So let's talk about the event Saturday night. The event was wonderful. We only had to deal with rainstorms. It was from 4 to 8, and we had to deal with rainstorms in the first hour, and then we had to deal with rainstorms in about the third hour. And there was a little bit of rain in between, and they were some pretty heavy down drenches, but almost everything was under cover, so we were in good shape. I got a chance to stand with the sheriff of St. Johns County and have a chat with him, and he's interested in all the things that us pirates are doing, and we'll be doing more with them. There's another event that they do in the fall that we had already agreed to do, so we will be doing that with them. It was a fun event. The fire department was there, the sheriff's department was there, and it was free for all the employees of St. Johns County School District. Free games, free prizes, free food. The hamburgers were pretty good. Hot dogs, chips, sodas, and drink and water. Everything was there and set up. It was free for everybody. And I believe that they had between 800 and 1,000. They may have had a little bit more. They were expecting 12 to 1,400. But I do believe that they hit the 800 mark easily, maybe the 1,000 mark. The storms may have kept some people away, but it was a lot of fun, and the children were a lot of fun. And we had some children that were just playing the heck out of our games and winning too. And I got myself beat a couple of times. There was a giant checkers game there, and I had quite a few kids that beat me in checkers. Oh, well, it's all about the kids. So it was a fun event. What do you think, Mr. Longwood? Give me your opinion on the event. What do you think? You took all the pictures. You had some fun?
Oh, yes, it was very fun. And even though it was storming, that benefited us because everybody came into our game area all at once and stayed there for quite a while. So we were able to give away all those games and prize toys, everything.
There was an awful lot of there were 5 tables full of prizes and toys and school books and T-shirts, and it was amazing. We gave away so much. It was a wonderful event, and it was their first annual, and we've been asked to come back and participate. And because we do so much with Inc., we are partnered with Inc. to really work out and do what we can with them. So, ladies and gentlemen, next year If you're part of the St. Johns County School District, we're going to be having more fun. And we've got a few extra ideas for next year. I think we need to do a Dunk a Pirate event. Crickets. It was way too hot for the powder monkey to come out. It would have been fun to have him, but it was way too toasty for the powder monkey. But we'll figure a way to get the powder monkey out for some of our next events and have a good time with it. But it was a very successful event. I talked to the boss in charge of the whole thing, Donna Looters, and with a name like Looters, she should be one of our pirate crew. We've often teased her about that, but she's the boss of Inc. And she was pleased as punch with the entire event. It was such a good event, and they took extra caution, as they should have, under these trying times that have been happening. They had extra security out there. And the fairgrounds are a really great place to do events. There's only one thing I do not like about the fairgrounds, ladies and gentlemen. It is Gnat Central. The gnats are everywhere out there. I don't know what they can do about it, but it is Gnat Central. I had gnats flying all over me, all over the crew. There were more gnats out there than there were people. So if we can figure a way to take care of those gnats, that'll make that place a great place. And they've done a lot of extra work on sprucing the fairgrounds out. I think it's a possibility for other events down the road. Let's see what happens. So it was a good event. Any other good questions about this event, Mr. Longwood? Any at all?
Let's see. Oh.
Love the idea of a pirate dunk. Ah, Miss Gina. Well, good. Maybe we can get Ed to do it. The kids were having a ball. You're absolutely right, Donna. And I do have to, I'll throw this out there. Donna is a retired school teacher. Is retired the proper word to use? I hate using that sometimes. But Donna's a retired school teacher from St. Johns County. And she was delighted in that some of the parents that were out there bringing their kids recognized her or remembered her as a school teacher that she was. And there is no better reward for a school teacher than to have students from your past come and tell you how much they loved you, how much they missed you, and everything about what you're doing. So, Miss Donna, that was a good afternoon for you. I hope you got all the kudos you do well deserve. It was wonderful to have you it's always wonderful to have you as part of our crew, but this was one for you to be a part of this event because those kids knew you, those adults knew you. So it's a good event. I bet she was beaming all the way home, Mr. Longwood.
She was.
No, of course she was.
I was also bragging on the event people, the Inc. people. I said she was the first one to receive the very first Inc. award.
That's right. She was. Inc. gave award. So that I don't get it wrong, either Mr. Longwood or Miss Donna, tell me, what was that award? Exactly what was the award? It was the first award Inc. gave out when they first started. What is the title of that award? Do you know, Mr. Longwood, or do we have to wait for Donna to answer?
I do not know.
Well, when Miss Donna answers, we'll give her a few more kudos. Jim says we need a cannon to fire softballs for the dunk tank. Maybe a mermaid dunk. Ah, that would be good. A mermaid dunk. Lifetime achievement in education.
That's it.
Now that you brought it up, Miss Donna, I will make sure that I try to remember that at all times. Lifetime achievement in education. Very good. Well, you should be very proud. I am sure that you were always, as you are now, a wonderful teacher. So Miss Donna is part of the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, and we're proud to have that. There you go. All right. So it was a grand event. 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. We actually got out of there a few minutes to 8. It was muggy after the rain, between the rainstorms, but it was an event that I would never say no to, ever, ever, ever. So let us move on to today. You see, I was at the Pirate Museum for Saturday and Sunday during the day. Oh, I also, congratulations, I want to throw this out there real quick. Congratulations to Ancient City Privateers. They had a pancake breakfast at Applebee's. They do it every year at the same time. And you go out and you pay $10. You get pancake, eggs, sausage, cup of coffee, a little bit of conversation and socializing, and they're raising money for their charities. So I stopped by there at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, had my pancake and eggs, and talked with the captain. Lloyd, I believe, is the captain of Ancient City Privateers, and a couple of their crew members, and then went on to the museum. I left the museum at 2:30 to head out to the fairgrounds to be there by 3 to set up, and I was there, and we were there until just about 8 o'clock, and then got home by 9. So it was a 12-hour day on Saturday, and then Sunday, well, it wasn't so long at the Pirate Museum, but today we had one other thing to do. This afternoon at 5:30, several of the pirates joined me in giving a very special welcome to Jasmine, a dreamer kid. She was so much fun. And her sisters, Eden and Sierra Rose, with her mom and dad. They met us at the Pirate Museum, and we gave them a very special magical tour. Now, before I go any further, let me make sure that I say thank you to the pirates that showed up. That would be Miss Cece, Miss Melinda, Miss China, and the quartermaster Pugh, otherwise known as Leon to his friends. The 4 of them showed up to help me greet. There it is. There's a great picture. All of us there showing up at the Pirate and Treasure Museum for this dreamer child. It is one of their, as a family, it was a vacation for them and their first time in St. Augustine. And they kicked off St. Augustine, their whole week here in St. Augustine. They kicked it off by coming to the Pirate and Treasure Museum to see Captain Mayhem. Do you have a video for this, Mr. Longwood?
Yes, and this was that last 20 minutes before the show. So.
Great video. Hey, last minute. I mean, we did this at 5:30. We sent over all the pictures to our podcast Facebook page, Captain's Quarters Podcast. So if you want to see any of the other pictures, please go to that page and you can see them. And Mr. Davey did a wonderful job putting together a last minute video. It looked really good. It was very, very good. I liked it. And that's all that matters because I'm the captain. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the things we love to do. And this was a last minute call. This pretty much was a contact on Friday morning. making sure that Captain Mayhem was available and talking to my crew. And of course, on a Monday at 5:30 in the afternoon, I don't expect any of the crew to throw everything away to do what they need to do. Christy and I have very strict rules about charity work. We simply need to have time in our schedule and the ask. The ask is always important, and it's the method of the ask or the way of the ask. If the ask is genuine, respectful, and professional, of course. But if the ask is an expectation that you will do it no matter what, give it a second thought. It was a fun time. Jasmine is the dream child. Her sisters, Jasmine is 9 years old. Her sisters, Eden and Sierra Rose, are 10 and 12. And they were a lot of fun. They live over in the Tallahassee area, and they will be here all week. The Dreams Come True people have made sure that they have all kinds of things going on in their lives for the whole week. They're at the Embassy Suites out on the beach. How can you beat that? That's wonderful. They have the beach time. And then they'll be coming back to say hello to me on Friday morning and taking a educational tour. The tour today was not educational. The tour today for Jasmine and her family was fun. We did a treasure hunt in the tavern. I did some magic with gold coins in the captain's quarters. We enjoyed Blackbeard's room, and we had a great time in Hollywood Pirates. And of course, I had to give some gifts out because guess what? Nobody comes to see Captain Mayhem unless I can give them some great swag from my treasure chest. Pirate bears, jewelry, books. Yes, books, ladies and gentlemen. And what book should I give that little lady? Well, of course, Treasure Island. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what it's all about. What do I see here? Great job, all involved. Putting a smile on a child's face who's going through challenges and is an awesome charity. You're absolutely right, Jim. It is an awesome charity. It makes you feel good. It is a lot of fun. And hey, I can't say anything more than this is why many of us are pirates, because it makes us feel good. And in the words of Jack Sparrow, which I do not abide by, take what you can, give nothing back. That's not what we say. Captain Mayhem and the crew of the St. Augustine Swashbucklers say, take what you can, share it with everyone. That is our motto, or at least one of them. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a lot of fun. We had a ball this afternoon. And Miss Gina was there, as you can see. Miss Cece was there. Miss Melinda was there. And Quartermaster Pugh. And I do have to give some kudos out to Quartermaster Pugh. He's right on, spot on when it comes to ad-libbing and following the lines of the captain. I just start spouting off and have a good time. And many of my pirates are learning improv and ad-lib. And that's what street and live performance is all about. Improv and ad-lib. And so many of my pirates are doing a great job of it. So it was fun. Davey, Mr. Longwood, do we have that video that we did of the Dreams Come True a couple months ago? Do we have
Yes,
it?
we do.
Well, show that off. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give a quick intro for it first before he pops it up there, just in case I can't speak. A couple of months back, actually before the turn of the year, Dreams Come True was doing something special where they asked other people that were supporting them to do some kind of a video that they could use in their advertisements to share with other people to get more people interested in Dreams Come True. I had an idea for a video, and we did it. And I will give credit to the people that actually did it. Mr. Longwood helped me out with it. I did the videoing, but the editing and everything was done by Mr. Ado, who used to be a part of our crew here at the podcast, but moved on to his own things. But I will give proper credit to those that have been a part of it. Credit is done where credit is due. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Longwood, throw that up there.
Captain William Mayhem here of the St. Augustine Swashbucklers. I've had a working relationship with Dreams Come True people since 2014. And they asked me if I would join in their video project. Well, what can I say? How can you tell the dreams come true people know? So here we are. Now the question was, what does working for dreams come true mean to me? I think it's different. Here's how. I believe it's not what it means to me, but it's what it means to all the children that we interact with my talents and the talents of my crew, the St. Augustine Swashbucklers. I believe it's what we can do to make it mean something to them.
Pirates just make us think of treasure. Every child of the Dreams family is truly a treasure. From meeting fairies, princesses, to tea with pirates, or a superhero's first kiss from a pirate. Pirates just make everyone smile, think of adventures, and tall tales. Pirates are truly a family affair. And they just make you want to dance. The smiles say it all. Every child is royalty as far as we pirates are concerned. Even walking the plank can be a true pleasure. Although we pirates might pillage and plunder a bit here and there, in the end, we give it all back to those truly worthy dreamers.
So what does it mean to me? Do I really have to tell you? I've heard that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I've just given you over 16,000 of them. It's now your time to take your pick. Bye.
I'm quite fond of that video, ladies and gentlemen. I like it, not because of the fact that I'm in it, but because it actually does tell you exactly why. And if a picture is worth 1,000 words, look at all the pictures that Mr. Longwood has shown you tonight for 2 other events we've done tonight. We're throwing out thousands and thousands and thousands of words to you on why we do this. Charity is very important. It takes a village. Okay, maybe it takes a pirate. But we should have fun with it. We should do what we can to help everybody else. And in this day and age, ladies and gentlemen, and I can tell you, I've experienced some difficulties over the last several years, but especially over the last 3 months. Coming together and helping each other is the only way to make things work. And our charity work is very important. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to join our crew, and I have pirates, a couple of the pirates that were there with us this past weekend, and they came to me and they said, this is why we joined your crew. I had a pirate tonight that was with me tonight at the Pirate Museum, and that pirate said, this is the reason I joined your crew. I don't need any other reason. I want pirates that want to do this. It's not for ego. It's not for pictures. It's for the good we get from it, the feeling we get from it, because we're making somebody else feel good. My pirates are special to me. The St. Augustine Swashbucklers and any other swashbucklers that have been a part. When you do good work, it comes back tenfold on you. And I'll give you some proof. We got kicked out of our house, me and Miss CC, but the home we're in now is wonderful. And the social environment in that backyard, you guys can't wait to see it, I know. I'll be working my hindquarters off to make sure that everything is ready, because we're going to have a big weekend party in August. That's one of the surprises. You'll enjoy it, and we'll hopefully have you all here. By the way, my pirate room in the new house is 680 square feet. Think about that for a while. Mr. Longwood, what do you think? Was it a good time?
Oh, yes.
Well, it was a good weekend. We did a lot of work, and I'm trying to view the questions that are coming up. I don't want to miss any. So again, with the specs, ladies and gentlemen, I have to see. Let's see. Great job. Putting a smile on a child's face who is going through challenges is an awesome charity. Mr. Jim, you're absolutely right. These children actually show you what true human strength is all about. Because for some reason, these kids really are, what's the word I want to use here? They are so strong in the face of adversity. Adults should take some time to pay attention to the way these kids handle their situation. It's a wonderful thing. Let's see. Nightingale in Florida, she finally got online. We did mention you. Hey, after last week, Jack Sparrow is evidently not such a bad guy after all. Yeah, I would say that Jack Sparrow has his work cut out for him. Mr. Earl, it's some of the best fields in the world. Now, the Earl has actually participated with me. I'll brag about this. When Dreams Come True does their big Dreams Day event, which they're not doing this year, but when they do, all the Dreamer kids get a golden ticket in a candy bar. Wow, it's kind of like, wow, Willy Wonka. But they get that candy bar magically from the pirate magician of St. Augustine, Captain William Mayhem. And one of those years, Mr. Earl helped me out. And it was, each child comes into the room where Captain Mayhem is and gets their magic candy bar with their golden ticket in a very magical pirate chest that looks empty, but is not. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that is a fun time. And I got hugs today. I get hugs from all those kids. It's wonderful. Let's see. Inspirational is the word. That's a good one, Mr. Jim. I like that. And the Facebook user, my 5-year-old daughter told me the other day, when I grow up, I am going to be a pirate. Well, in the words of Mark Twain, if I get this right, we all had wished that we would be rewarded by the idea that our good works and the good Lord would make us all pirates someday. I'm paraphrasing because I'm pretty sure I messed that up. But somebody, I'm sure, will correct me on that. We've had a good evening tonight. We've talked about our charities. I want to make sure that I did not miss anything in my notes. I've told you my take on charities and how Houdini inspired me, ladies and gentlemen, as a magician. And I stand by that. At 64 years old, I will continue to do what I do. It is a wonderful thing to be in a position to use your talents to help others. Does it pay me a lot of money? Nah. Do I want a lot of money? Sometimes. But ladies and gentlemen, helping others in ways that don't require anything other than your talents is the most wonderful thing in the world. So ladies and gentlemen, I urge all of you, find your talent, find your space, use it, and help others. They say paying it forward is a good way to do it. I like that idea. But I think that if we all start working together, and one of the things I tell people at the end of my tours in the Pirate Museum, one of the ways they can thank me for the tour, of course, it's my tip spiel, but we're not talking about tips right now. Because one of the things that I tell people, there are 3 ways to thank me for the tour they just were on in the Pirate Museum. Hugs. Love hugs. Hugs work. Makes one feel good. But the second one, positive words. You don't even have to say thank you. Just say you had a good time. If my pirates show up, say you enjoyed their company. Say you had a good time. Say you learned something. Say anything in a positive format. And thank you doesn't have to be the words. Just anything positive. If more and more people would start passing out the positive words and putting it out in the environment, we wouldn't need all the other problems that are going on. We would combat those and take them away. So ladies and gentlemen, positive words. That's all you need. Little Jasmine, her sisters Eden and Sierra Rose, they were so wonderful. They were a lot of fun. There's no hint of the reason they were there. They were there to have fun, meet pirates, kick off their St. Augustine week-long experience with Captain Mayhem and the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum. It was a wonderful thing. I had a good time. My pirates had a good time. And that's what it's all about. I can't think of anything else to say. I want to see what the other comments are real quick, and then we'll go into the closing because I believe we only have about 13 minutes left. One of the most valuable things you give is time. Yes, Earl, you're absolutely right. Time is valuable. Keep doing what you do. You have done so much for St. Augustine and delighted so many children and adults alike. Yes, Nightingale in Florida, thank you very much. I love my crew. Thank you, Miss Donna. I do want to say this real quick because it's a thought that went through my head. I don't spout here. I don't preach here for myself. I preach to make, and it's not preaching. I share. I have a wonderful crew. This was an event just tonight at 5:30 that started on Friday. And with everybody working, I did not expect any crew to be there. But I had 5 pirates show up and help me. And the people at the Pirate Museum. What was the name of the lovely young lady that gave us our words, our pictures, and our photographic evidence of everything that was going on, Mr. Longwood?
What was which?
The one that gave us all our pictures, the one that works at the Pirate Museum. We need to give her proper credit. That went to our Facebook page.
Cat Moses.
Nope, that wasn't Pat.
No, Cat.
We're going to make sure we give that person exactly great credit. Those pictures were put on our Facebook page for you to enjoy. All of those pictures were put on there. Cat Moses. Okay, Cat, you're right. Absolutely. Sorry. I thought you said something else. Those pictures are great. Go to our Facebook page, Captain's Quarters Podcast on Facebook. Look at those pictures. Enjoy them. My favorite words are, I love my captain, I love my crew, I love the monkey, and all for you. Gosh, there's so many things I want to say to that, Mr. Andrew. Mr. Adams, when you come into my house, we're going to have something fun to say. Time is precious and life is going by fast. Just last night, I was wondering where my weekend went. It's best to live in the moment for these days. You're absolutely right. It was a wonderful time. The whole weekend was great. There are more ahead of us. Join us. Be a part of the Captain's Quarters podcast. And here's a little secret for you. Mr. Longwood doesn't even know this, so he'll be surprised now. Make sure you show a good surprise face, Mr. Longwood. We have been talking for weeks and weeks and weeks about doing a Captain's Parlay, which would be a live broadcast on St. George Street. Well, I have secured the deal, not the date, but probably in late July. I have secured the deal that we will be doing the Captain's Quarters live broadcast, not a Monday night, but a Friday night live broadcast at Augie's Draft on St. George Street.
Huzzah!
I talked to the owners the other day. Cheers. And we will be on a Friday night in July doing a live broadcast, which means that you can come down and sit with us, have a drink, pour your own beer at Augie's, and be a part of the Captain's Quarters Parlay podcast. So get ready for that one. We're happy with that one. I can't think of anything else to say or do except for it's time to give thanks to all.
No, this week in history.
Oh, I am sorry, Mr. Longwood. You worked so hard on that and I forgot about it. So please pop that up there quickly. right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to do one other thing real quick before we go into all our thank yous. It was just a good reminder. My good friend Mo out in Las Vegas, Nevada, who has a good pirate crew and a lot of pirate things going on, we had originally scheduled him to do a podcast with us, be our guest on June 27th, I think it is. And it just so happens that night, a Monday night, they're doing a fundraiser, a charity event in the Colonial Quarter Pirate Museum area for somebody that's very near and dear to our hearts. So we're not going to be doing an episode that night. And much of my crew is going to be hopefully going to the event. So Mo, we'll be talking on a different date. Just let me know some of your dates. But you are on my preferred list to do something with. So let's make sure we get it taken care of. And I think I just heard the beep. So you probably just sent me a message. Very good. On top of that, ladies and gentlemen, let's thank our show sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ancient City Sirens, Dick's Wings, Paper and Strings, Shiver Me Pictures, and Colonial Oak Music Park, and of course the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum. All of those are our sponsors. They're good sponsors all the way up to the January time frame of 2023, of which time we will be looking for more sponsors to add to our list. And if we can pick up some more sponsors between now and then, we'd be very grateful for that. But for now, we're going to leave it at that. How about a thanks to our crew support? Of course, W Mayhem Productions, that would be me and everything we do. The St. Augustine Swashbucklers, who are so strong behind everything we have. Captain William Mayhem, the Powder Monkey for all he does. And of course, there it is, the Captain's Quarters podcast crew, Mayhem, the Gunner, and the Navigator. That's our thank you to all the people that help us support this event. Now, let's have a reminder of our charities. Ladies and gentlemen, we still work for the charities and doing everything we can. Our treasure charities supported by the Captain's Quarters Podcast, Inc., St. Augustine Youth Services, Humane Society, which we didn't talk about them tonight, but we will be doing something special for the Humane Society later on in the summer. So join us if you can. And of course, our Toys for Tots, which is actually Toys for Pits, Pirates in Training. That's our Christmas time. So we have some good charities that we hope to deal with. I think we need to put Dreams Come True on there and have a good time with that. Now, let's show some numbers to see how much we've got supporting us, which would be our subscribers, 219, sponsors are 4, which that number needs to change. We'll have to fix that. And our first mate, Patreon, is 6 members, first mate. We need to put that up a little bit higher. I am hoping to have 10 by the end of July, 10 first mates. And we're working on some new gifts, new presents, new ideas, and whatever we can do to bribe you, because that's the way pirates do things, to bribe you into being a part of what we do. So ladies and gentlemen, we're doing well, or at least I'm told we're doing well. And I do know that every episode, once it finishes at night, it downloads to our YouTube channel and people can go and look at all the episodes, all the way back for the past 35 episodes. And we're getting about 1,500 views a week on all our episodes combined. So we're very happy with that one too. Now, if you want to be a guest or a sponsor, or you are the captain of a crew and you want to brag about your crew and the charities they do, we would like to have you be a part of our guest list. Send us a message. Either send a message to Mr. Longwood, send a message to Captain Mayhem, or send a message on our Facebook page, Captain's Quarters Podcast, or email us at captainsquarterspodcast21@gmail.com. That's the best way to get in touch with us. And Mr. Longwood, our navigator, pays attention to that email and lets us know what's going on. We'd love to have other pirate captains be a part of our podcast, a guest. Talk about your pirates and your crew and what you do. We'd love to have you there. And new on the horizon. Well, we've talked about it. There's a crew social and recruitment in July. We're working on a couple of other events. Ladies and gentlemen, the only way you'll find out is to tune in to us every Monday night at 8 o'clock. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, Captain's Quarters Podcast. And once at the YouTube channel, We hope that you will like, and subscribe to us, because that's where we get our numbers. So before we go, before we say anything at all, before we give our last messages, let me review what we have here and see if I missed anything. Love the music and the videos. David, you've done a well job. And tomorrow, June 14th, is Flag Day here in the United States. Mr. Jim, thank you for letting me know that. That is a great thing to talk about. Flag Day, ladies and gentlemen. Display your flags. I have my Mayhem flag, but I'll be putting my American flag out. Alexi Alien Edits. I saw you in my field trip. Well, thank you very much for joining us and being a part of us. I hope that you will continue to watch us. I hope that you didn't get in too late, but hey, join us and be a part of it. And Michael J says, Captain, how you doing? Are you still doing your young viewer thing that you talked about so long ago? We are working on a couple of ideas for the young viewers, some special podcast ideas, and we will be working on it. My apologies to everybody. All these ideas that we have lots of ideas. Mr. Longwood and I sit up till late in the evening having these ideas with Mr. Mason, our gunner. He's off taking care of some weaponry things probably right now, but that's good for him. But ladies and gentlemen, we have all these ideas, but I apologize to the whole crew. The last month and a half, going into 2 months, it's been very busy, very hectic for me and Miss Cece moving into our new house. We're almost there, and we'll continue on. We'll have a revamp, a reinvest, and our Captain's Quarters podcast will be bigger and stronger than ever. And we hope that you'll continue to follow us along the way. If not next week, the week after, the Captain's Quarters podcast will be in the new studio in our new home. I look forward to it. I hope you do too. Anything else? Very good. I think we're good, Mr. Longwood. What do you think? Did I miss anything? Did we have some good comments?
Yes, very good.
All right, we're in good shape. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me do one other look at something else that just pinged in my other screen. And there it is, right there. Mr. Moe has said he's open all of July except the 4th. Yeah, I would agree with that. We're going to do a 4th of July special event that night. But from that point on, we'll bring you in. I'll send you some dates. Other than that, I think we're good. Another fantastic show. Thank you, Mr. Harker. It is time for us to also consider a rum show again. And I need to get in touch with my river pirate friend to bring him on board and do another rum show. I found extra rum bottles in my collection when we moved. Time to have a couple of those opened up and have a good time. And maybe we can bring him in and have him be one of our first guests. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it's time for us to conclude our show. We've gone over by 4 minutes right there. Which is fine, because sometimes the more fun we have, the more time we take. I believe it's been a good show. Thank you very much for everybody watching. We hope that you will continue to watch, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Captain's Quarters Podcast. Once again, Mr. Longwood, let's take it away.
Part of the podcast.
Part of the crew. Always, to each and every one of you. Cheers to you. Huzzah.